stays in bounds. Chad Henne out of the bullpen.
San Francisco Sunday, man. San Francisco Sunday.
Got Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Scotty Scooter Miller. The Bucs lead 20-10.
Let's go.
Steps up, scrambles, throws late, over the middle, incomplete. My goodness.
Kick it.
I'm a little surprised they didn't actually go for it on fourth down there.
3rd and 4 for Tampa Bay with the ball at their own 37. 4 yards for Tampa Bay to go to Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady are going to Super Bowl 55.
Love you, kiddo. Let's go to Super Bowl, baby.
AFC Championship, man.
They throw it left side to Hardman on a wide receiver screen over the end zone. Touchdown! The Cheetah will run you all the way around the earth. It's a 71-yard pass play. The Chiefs are ready to run it back. They are headed to Super Bowl 55. Mahomes, Brady, Super Bowl.
I see you on Tampa Bay. Oh, I love it.
Welcome to NFL Total Access, presented by Bolt 24, and welcome to Super Bowl week. I'm your host, MJ Acosta-Ruiz. This is it, the final stretch until someone is hoisting the Lombardi Trophy on Sunday. We have Maurice Jones-Drew in studio with me today, David Carr and LaDainian Tomlinson on deck as well. Listen, I know it's different this year, but I promise you, we'll make you feel like you're there. Hey, we've got you from the Total Access studio all the way to Tampa Bay. Opening night media availability, very different this year in the middle of a pandemic. Still, though, this Super Bowl will include many notable firsts. It will be the first ever Super Bowl matchup between the last two quarterbacks to win a Lombardi. And then there's this, 18 years, 45 days. That's the biggest age difference between starting QBs in Super Bowl history. Speaking of the QBs, there's Tom tweeting this picture out. That ring light, though, this year's a little different than the others. Yeah, Tom, you can say that again.
When to walk away? That's a good question. I think I'll know when it's time. So I don't know when that time will come, but I think I'll know, and I'll understand that I gave everything I could to get to this game. So obviously we're one game away from the ultimate goal in this sport. And I've been a part of that ultimate goal 6 other times. So they're all different. They've all meant something a little bit different to me. They've all been very unique in their own way. It'd just be cool to accomplish it this time.
He's the same way as I am. He's going to leave everything he has on the field every single time he's out there to win. And he doesn't care what it takes. He doesn't care if he has to throw for 400 yards or if he has to throw for 100 yards. He wants to win. And I feel like I have that same mentality. Is I just want to win no matter what happens and how it happens. As far as different, I mean, it's just I don't necessarily know yet because I'm still growing, and I mean he's still getting better and better. And so I just try to do whatever I can to win, and I know he's pretty much the same way.
All right, for a preview of Super Bowl opening night presented by Bolt 24, let's bring in Steve White. And Steve, walk us through this, my friend, because you're in Tampa Bay, so you're our proxy basically at this point. It's different for us watching from here, but how does it feel? How does it look in Tampa?
Well, I'm here at Raymond James Stadium, and believe it or not, some folks around the country aren't going to like this or feel sorry for me, but it's about 50 degrees, and we've got some really righteous winds here in Tampa. It's going to be this way the next few days. Game day is going to be in the 60s, but it could actually rain. But you ride around Tampa, it seems like it's a regular Super Bowl. You can tell the big event is here. Big tents everywhere, stages, signage. But as you know, this is not a normal Super Bowl. And it was most evident today, the opening day media day. As we know, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're still in Kansas City where they'll remain until Saturday. This is going to be like a regular season road trip with them not arriving to the Super Bowl city until the day before kickoff. Now, for Tampa Bay, they're the first team to host a Super Bowl in their home city. And Tom Brady spoke about the advantages of being at home. He said his family has been gone for several days and they won't be back until this weekend. So he'll be locked in watching film, getting ready for everything here. Also, he also mocked the fact that he was talking to reporters through a computer where normally the previous 9 times the poor guy's been to the Super Bowl, he's dealing with crowds at a stadium or arena, people wearing wedding dresses and things like that. And lastly, MJ, you can see in this football stadium, there are cutouts everywhere. There's going to be about 24,000 fans here come Super Bowl Sunday, but they are going to be socially distanced by some smiling cardboard faces all over the place.
Steve, can you find my cutout? It's in there somewhere. It's like a little world. Where's Walter?
Yeah.
Where's MJ? Steve White.
Yeah, right on that, MJ.
Please. Thank you.
Goff well protected, bounces in the pocket. He sends one deep to the end zone. Leaping effort. He brought it in.
Stafford stepping up now, rolling right, loading and throwing deep. Jump ball. Cephas makes the catch. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Goff rolls away from it, throws front right pylon. Cooper Kupp makes the catch, and it's a touchdown.
Stafford throws deep right side. Wants Marvin Jones. Got it. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Stafford to Jones, 43 yards.
A blockbuster quarterback trade, and we're not even in the offseason yet. Here are the trade details that Matthew Stafford heads to the Los Angeles Rams. The Detroit Lions, meanwhile, await Jared Goff along with 2 first-round picks in 2022 and 2023, plus a third-rounder in this year's draft. All right, let's welcome in Maurice Jones-Drew, David Carr, and LaDainian Tomlinson with me as well. And guys, early on our call, we have a lot of thoughts here about this Matt Stafford, Jared Goff trade. Let's do our best to kind of fit it in here. We only have an hour show. Specifically, though, the details of what the Lions are getting. MJD, quite a haul. Did the Rams give up a little bit too much here?
I'll say this is strictly a football decision. A lot of people kind of taking it personal. I know with the Sean McVay comments and the Les Snead comments, it was strictly about football. And the Rams want to win now. They don't want to win next year, 5 years from now. They were trying to win now, and they know that getting Matthew Stafford is going to be tough to try to get that kind of guy in the draft in the next couple of years to help them win. So they were willing to do whatever it took to get their quarterback that they felt will help them push them over the top, and that's what they did.
Yeah, I agree with MJD. I don't think that there's enough picks that you can give up for a guy like that. If you're in a position that you already know you have a Super Bowl ready team, you know, they were there a couple of years ago, and Sean McVay wakes up every day and remembers that he scored 3 points. And every time he plays a team that plays the same style of defense, think about Brian Flores in Miami and what they did to Jared Goff this year. Every time he plays against that team, he's reminded of their failures. And he's reminded of the quarterbacks just coming up short. And you look at this football team, there's no weakness outside of the quarterback position not being able to transcend X's and O's. Unless you have a guy that's a Peyton Manning or a master at the offense that can really get you in and out of every play, can have an answer for every blitz, can just move your team down the field, then you have to have a guy that has the ability of a Matt Stafford that can do both, that can make plays outside the X's and O's with his arms, you know, with his talent that he possesses. Jared Goff was always a guy that was going to be a product of what's around him, you know, and so they had to move on. They had to make this decision. Basically, for me, these first-round picks, this third-round pick, that's just depth for a Super Bowl-ready team. This is basically Matt Stafford for Jared Goff. Great win for the Rams.
Yeah, I agree with David. You know, in this situation, when you look at the Rams, you have to ask yourself, what is the Super Bowl worth for them? A team that's in this position, as David and MJD alluded to, they're ready to win now. This strictly is a football decision. So you bring in a guy like Matthew Stafford that you feel like is going to help you get over the hump. You just experienced the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, so you know what it takes. And if I'm a guy in that locker room, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, I love this decision to go out and get Matthew Stafford because, as you guys know, when you're that close to a Super Bowl, you believe that you got what it takes to get it done. And at the same time, you're sitting there looking at the quarterback position with a side eye like, man, this dude ain't getting it done for us. So you bring in Matthew Stafford, and now that boosts the morale of everybody in that locker room and the belief and the confidence that they can get it done now.
Yeah, I'll say this, and it was like who won the trade. I think both teams won, right? The Detroit Lions have a starting quarterback and multiple picks to kind of rebuild their team the way they want to. And the Rams, like we said, are in win-now mode. So now you have a guy to help you win now. That permeates throughout your locker room. I think both teams win. You don't have to draft a guy right away. You could draft a guy in the first round. He could sit for a couple years behind Jared. I think it's a win-win situation. It just seemed a little messy because of the way it came out. But That's the NFL, right? And I guarantee this won't be the first big trade that we see this offseason.
We still got a long offseason to go. And to your point, MJD, guys, remember that the Super Bowl next year at SoFi Stadium.
Oh, yeah,
so when you talk about win now.
Well, can I say we, the Rams, where's my single?
There it is.
There it is. We are definitely trying to be in that one, too, like the Bucs. I promise you.
That's it. I knew that was coming.
Oh, like we're not.
Like
we're not. The Chargers, we're not trying to be in it.
I don't know about y'all. We can talk about us. We.
What did I say? Let's try to fit it in.
Okay,
we got an hour show. All right, guys. Thanks. Meantime, Aaron Rodgers caused some questions regarding his future in Green Bay after the loss to the Bucs in the championship game. Today, the Packers general manager, Brian Gutekunst, clarified Rodgers' future with the team, saying he would absolutely not trade Rodgers. Plus, he denied a report the Rams made a run at him and added a strong endorsement for the presumptive MVP.
I will say this, we're really excited, not only for next year, but the years to come. I mean, he's playing at such a high level that he always has. And I think, this year was a special year. It didn't finish like we wanted to finish, but I think everybody's, purely, motivated to get back. And I think, like I said, I don't think there's anything that we have to do. He's our quarterback and he's our leader.
Our NFL insider, Ian Rappaport, joins us now. And Ian, all right, was Aaron Rodgers ever going to play for a team other than Green Bay?
No, not anytime soon. But it's amazing that this is an issue. Amazing that Brian Gutekunst, the general manager, had to address this. Amazing that Coach Matt LaFleur did also, basically saying, absolutely, Aaron Rodgers is going to be their quarterback. Then wondering, is that a trick question? It's actually not, of course, because Rodgers, as we know, gave some doubt to his future being with the Packers or even just his future playing in his post-game press conference right after the season. That's why we're all talking about this, a clear sign that Rodgers was not thrilled. Could the team do something contractually, maybe lock him in for an additional year, give him some guaranteed money in 2022 to make him feel a little better? Obviously, that's something we will be tracking. Meanwhile, a little bit of Super Bowl chatter here from another GOAT, Tom Brady, of course, 43 years old in the Super Bowl, again, was asked, could he see himself playing past 45? And he said he would definitely consider it. He would need to have that commitment year-round to do it, and he knows this is a physical game.